This is Made for More Living with Johnny Jennings, powered by eXp Realty. Online at madeformoreliving.com.
If someone makes a mistake, they should 100% own up to it. Don't you agree, Matt?
I would agree. That is the best route to moving on with your life. I teach that to my kids all the time. If you try to hide it, then you're just going to get into more trouble. It's better if you just come forward and confess, hey, you stole a cookie or you did something wrong. You drew on the walls in the bathroom. Just tell me it was you. Or even last night, I'm telling Noah to eat his vegetables and I go in and into the kitchen.
Yeah.
And when I come back, they're gone. And I'm wondering, did you hide those somewhere?
He ate those pretty fast.
Right. I was like, God is watching. God is watching. So if you don't tell me the truth, you will go to hell.
Oh, gosh.
I'm just
laying it on thick.
I'm just kidding. But yeah, I think you're right. I think it's better to just come forward sooner rather than later.
It's funny you mentioned kids, because I actually learned this in marriage, right? It's better to, if you make a mistake, just own it and just be apologetic, grovel, do whatever it takes to make it right. But at least if you own it, then you can move forward in fixing the problem.
Yes.
But if you're in denial, or if they're like, no, I didn't do it, or you're in denial, say, I didn't make that mistake, when deep down you contributed to it at the least. You got to recognize the problem. And that's kind of what...
So this is like a daily thing for you and your wife, right?
Oh, gosh.
Because you are messing up all the time.
I'm messing up more than I'm getting it right.
Right.
And so I got the word track down. I know exactly what to say because... you just really have to own it. And there's a certain sense of integrity. There's a certain sense of, I believe, self-worth when you say, hey, I owned it, but I'm going to make it right.
Don't you wish our politicians lived by that motto? Own up to your mistakes quickly instead of just covering it up or even denying it or blaming it on someone else. I bet you in the real estate industry, Johnny, you see this on a regular basis where they just pass the buck and blame it on somebody else. So it's not me. It's this or this or this person.
Absolutely. And so, they wouldn't be a politician if they were accepting responsibility.
Right,
They're
exactly.
incapable of doing that. But as far as in our industry, there's a lot of different things, because what we're seeing right now is an increase in days on market. So homes are taking longer to sell. We're seeing an increase in inventory. So there's more homes competing to sell. And what's really interesting is the number of price reductions in the MLS have gone up. Like if you track it weekly, they've gone up over 400% since January.
Can I ask you a question? Longer days on the market, more days on the market, is that homes across the board? Is that a certain price range? Is that a certain neighborhood? Or is that just everyone's experiencing that?
So I wouldn't say everybody's experiencing that, but if you look at like the national news or like a macro level, like the Sacramento region as a whole, you're seeing that across the board. But let's say it's a super competitive price point, like an entry-level price point. The house is fixed up. It qualifies for conventional financing. You're seeing those homes, and it's priced right. Mm-hmm. You're seeing those homes fly off the market. But people are still not willing to overpay even for those homes. There's a lot of uncertainty in the market because it's like, what's going to happen with interest rates? What's going to happen with prices? What's going to happen with the elections?
Right.
And so there's a lot of different factors that people are wrestling with that are leaving them uncertain. But there's a lot of reasons. Like we actually have a little white paper about how why homes fail to sell. There's 12 main different reasons, but some of them are agent related. Some of them might be the seller. Some of them might be client related.
So let's start off with the first one. A home's not selling. And how would you define that? How would you define that a home is not selling? When should they does that mean they're not getting any offers? Does that mean the offers aren't closing? They're not being coming through?
Yeah.
Does that mean that the home is on the market for longer than 30 days? How do you define a home is not selling?
So typically, like the first weekend, second weekend on the market, you can tell. If you're not getting any showings, that's a red flag.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so you need to be getting showings. The next best thing, no showings is bottom of the barrel. Like you're scraping the bottom of the barrel with no showings.
And you mean by there's no other realtors visiting the house with clients?
Yeah, no clients, nobody showing up to the open houses, like no activity whatsoever on the home.
That's scary.
It's very scary. You're going to bed every night in your home wondering, why does nobody want to sell this home? I'm selling this home so I can move to X or so I can do Y. And that's put on pause until that home sells. And so every night you're going to bed and you're wondering why. So,
but what if you are getting a few showings?
So then the next level up is showings but no offers, right? So that means there is some activity, there is some interest, the marketing's working, people are seeing the property, but for whatever reason, they're not making an offer. Okay. And the next level up, even better than that, is showings with offers. And the best level is showings with multiple offers. And so if you're looking at that spectrum of options, where does your home fall? And so if you're no showings, no offers, you immediately within 10 days, like you need to make some changes. If you're getting some showings and maybe some low offers or occasional offers, but you've been on the market for a couple of weeks, it's also dependent on the average days on market. So we'll look at it, us, like Made for More, we will look at your neighborhood. How long is it taking on average for homes to sell in your neighborhood? And if we're under that, then if we're under those days on market, then there's no reason to really be alarmed. But if homes are selling in 15 days and now we've been on the market 25 days and there's like no offers, no rumors of offers, then okay, we need to figure out how to adjust this. How do we fix this? And so does that answer your question in terms of? Yeah,
that helps define, okay, this home is not selling.
Yeah. So it's just based off numbers. We always say this is real estate, not rocket science.
Right. So from your experience, when you see the home is not being shown, right? Nobody's showing up to the open houses. Other realtors aren't bringing anybody by.
Yeah.
That obviously is going to bring up some red flags for you.
Yeah.
And you're going to think, okay, what's the problem? Do I just have a bad realtor, that they're not doing a good enough job marketing it? Is it just the economy? Nobody's buying houses? What does that tell you?
So if a home's sitting on the market and it's longer than the normal days and we're not getting any offers, there's a couple different factors that could be at play. One, and it's the one everybody jumps to, is it's the realtor's fault. Like, what are they doing? They're not doing their job. They did the 3 Ps. They put the sign in the yard, they put it in the MLS, and now they're just praying that buyer comes by and makes an offer on the home. So those are typically where people go, but there's more to it than that. So if the agent...
But would you say that's the main reason? Would that be your first, response is, hey, maybe you don't have a qualified realtor?
Yeah, so there may be some instances there because like the photos may be bad. You may not have a 3D tour. You may not have a digital marketing plan. You may not have we have a staff of people who will actually proactively, we have people who are hunting for buyers. So they're calling through the community. They're calling other real estate agents. They're proactively looking for buyers. So maybe if your agent isn't doing those things, then there's some opportunities for improvement.
And you should reach out to Johnny Jennings with Made for More Realty, right?
As long as you're not in a contract. But if you're out of a contract, then by all means.
Come on, those California contracts, are they really that airtight?
Oh man, they are airtight. So realtor to realtor, they're airtight. Realtor to client, not so much. But realtor to realtor, absolutely.
Right.
Yeah. And so and we want to work with people who want to work with us. We're not trying to steal business from other people.
But sometimes it's not the realtor.
Sometimes it's not the realtor. Sometimes it is the condition of the home. So what we always say is when price and condition align, then that's when sales take place. So if your home is priced in a way and you're not getting any offers, well, then you have 2 options. You can either adjust the price or improve the condition of the home. So maybe it smells like dog and cat piss. Well, you know what? Change out.
Are we allowed to say that on the radio? I don't know. We'll see.
We're gonna. Yeah, the censors will let us know. But maybe make those repairs. If you have some broken windows or the paint's not there's some holes in the walls, the paint's scuffed, maybe make those lighter repairs. There are certain things you can do to drastically improve the quality of a home without spending a whole lot of money.
Yeah.
And
speaking of that, you have actually a program called the Fix It Before You List It program.
Yeah. Yeah, that great point.
So if you don't have the time or the money to get those repairs done, work with Johnny Jennings and Made for More Realty, and you guys have a program where you guys help with that.
Absolutely. So it's no money out of your pocket. It's just paid at closing out of the proceeds of the sale. You never even pay us directly, so we're not making money off of this situation. Right. We're just providing the service to help you. So if you'd like to learn more about that, you can just Google Made for More Realty and reach out to us there, or just call or text us anytime at 530-GET-MORE.
But obviously you want to make sure your home is presentable, that it's got some curb appeal, right?
Yeah.
That it takes good photos.
Yep. And so everybody typically knows, hey, maybe the realtor's not doing their thing. Everybody typically knows, okay, maybe it's price or condition. But what we've been running into a lot lately on both the buy and the sell side are the people living in there. So sometimes it's tenants, sometimes it's owners. And if the home is difficult to show, that is a huge red flag. That's the main reason why a lot of these homes don't sell, is because they only want the home to be shown during a small window of time. Or maybe the tenants say yes, and then they change their mind last minute and say, no, you can't come in. And then the homeowner is scared to ruffle feathers there because the people are living in this asset. They're living in this property.
Sure.
And they could do some damage while they're living there.
Right.
So that's the other thing.
Tough. Yeah, actually, when you're trying to sell a home where someone's living in it, especially all their furniture, and they haven't even began to move, that's really tough. I mean, I know if I was a home buyer, I want to go into a home where I can see somewhat of an empty canvas. I don't want to see clutter and just,
and tenants are just like, they may have pets. You may have allowed your tenants to have pets.
Yeah.
Well, if they got an 80-pound German Shepherd in there, it makes sense for why they would want to be home during the showings, or so they can get the German Shepherd out of there. But if they're at work, they're not really going to take time off work to go pull the dog so they can help sell your house. So these
are things that you sit down with your clients and you say, hey, we're going to sell your house for the maximum amount of money and at a quick, fast. But these are some of the suggestions that we have and the tips on how we're going to get this done.
Absolutely. So we've sold, the company has sold over 11,000 homes, since it's been created. So our marketing plan works. There's no questioning that. What we're not exactly sure is how are the people in the home, whether it's owners or tenants, how's that going to work with showings? And we're not exactly sure about the pricing strategy. So right now prices are actually starting to come down a little bit. Nationally, I think they're down like 6%. The median's down 6%. And so that's a huge narrative change for sellers who thought, hey, I'm going to sell my house for top dollar. Okay, well, now we're starting to see like price adjustments just in the last week. 2,000 homes lowered their price in the last week. And so that is not an insignificant number. And so we'll get more into that and why that happens when we come back from the break. But just keep in mind, if you want to reach out and you want to learn more about how we help people get people's homes sold, get more with Made for More. Just text or call 530-GET-MORE. It's 530-GET-MORE.
Hey, if you're listening right now and you're thinking, I wonder what kind of offers Johnny Jennings could get me for my home, well, reach out and find out that he'll sell your home on average 27% faster than everyone else, and on average for a 3% higher purchase price than other realtors. Expect more, get more with Johnny Jennings and the Tom Daves team at Made for More Realty, brokered by EXP. Just Google Made for More Realty today and get more for your home. License number 581837.